Hi everyone, I am Sheena and this is Perilous Prose, and today I have a book tag video for you. Today I'm going to be doing the book superlative tag. This was started by Olive at A Book Olive, and I will link to her channel down below as well as put in all the information on the books that I talk about today. I'm going to go ahead and dive right in. And let me know if you disagree with my choices or if there is another book that you think deserves that title. Number 1, most likely to be in the movies, the book that would make the best movie. For this one, I'm going to cheat a little bit. Personally, I think that books should be turned into television shows for the most part rather than movies. I love seeing the visual representation on the screen, but I just feel like films cut out too much. I would much rather see a book turned into a miniseries or like a season of a TV show. One of my fondest wishes is that the BBC will get a hold of the Harry Potter rights and do one of their fantastic miniseries for each volume in the series. So that is what I would hope for, honestly, for most books that I would want to see on screen. My pick for this is the Diviners series by Libba Bray. I just finished reading Lyre of Dreams, which I'll link to that video below, the quickie review that I did for that. I think that these books would translate wonderfully to a visual medium. I would absolutely love to see the costumes and just the visuals of the 1920s. I loved the visuals in the Great Gatsby movie, and I think that some of those would translate really well to this, but this would be like a darker take. It would be somewhere between the version of the Great Gatsby that has Leonardo DiCaprio in it and the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. It would fall somewhere in between those, and I think it would be fantastic and amazing, and I want to see that. Number 2, biggest drama, queen or king, the most overly dramatic book. For this, hands down, I have to pick one of my current reads, which is The Mummy by Jane Louddon. This is a book from 1827, and you can definitely see an influence from writers like Jane Austen. These characters are so over dramatic, and they run off to other countries and faint at random, and they resuscitated a mummy, for crying out loud. So they are just some of the most crazy characters. They're always up to something, and I will be talking about that more. I don't know if I'm going to do a whole book talk on it. I might, but it's definitely going to show up more in my wrap up at the end of the year. Number 3, Best Dressed, the book with the best cover. For this, I had to go with Fortune Hunter by Daisy Goodwin, and I love this cover so much. I always find myself drawn to it at the library or at bookstores, and then I read the back of it and I always put it back down again. It is set in the 1880s, I think, and I've started reading this. Again, it's an ebook that I'm reading from the library. And I really love the main female character, which is Charlotte. Her hobby that she does is she paints portraits of people like the royal family, only she puts animal heads on them. So I think that she's just really funny and hilarious, but it turns out that from what I've read on the back, her love interest is a total cad and kind of a waste of space. So I'm reading it right now. I'm going to see how it goes. This may end up being a DNF for me, but I love the cover so much that it makes me really, really want to love the book. So I'm hoping that I'm wrong about it. Number 4, most creative, the book with the most unique plot, characters, or structure. For this, I'm going to have to go with an oldie but a goodie. That is The Eyre Affair by Jasper Fforde. I started reading these a long time ago. I think I was in college, and I've read the first book at least twice. I started the second book and had to return it to the library before I was done, and I don't think I ever went back to finish it. I have, if not all of the books, I've got most of them. They're actually right here. But I just haven't gone back to read or reread them yet. So those may end up on my TBR list for 2016. I do want to get to them. But as you guys saw in my other video, I have a lot of books I want to read in 2016. And that's not even counting those sort of incidental books that I'm going to find at the library or the bookstore, what have you. So I do want to go back and read these at some point because they're so unique and funny and strange. I just haven't gotten to them yet. Most popular, the book with the most ratings on Goodreads. Well, I'm kind of cheating on this one because I reread the Harry Potter series this year. So that's a 5-star series for me, and it's a 5-star series for pretty much everyone. So that's kind of a no-brainer on that one. Number 6, most likely to succeed. The book that is going to be appreciated for many years to come. For that one, I'm going to go with another series that I reread this year, mostly reread. I'm not quite done with it yet, and that is the Percy Jackson series by Rick Riordan. And I do have physical copies of both that and the Harry Potter books, but they're all the way up there at the top of this cabinet, and I'm not going to get them down right now because that involves climbing on a table, and I'm not going to do that right now. Number 7, Class Clown, the book that you couldn't help but laugh at. For that, I'm going to pick a book that I just recently finished listening to on audio that I would like to go back and I read because I think I missed a few things on it. And that is The Scandalous Sisterhood of Prickwillow Place by Julie Berry, I think her name is. I'll have to confirm that. The Scandalous Sisterhood of Prickwillow Place is about 7 girls attending a finishing school in rural England. They are training up to be young ladies. They sit down for dinner one evening with their headmistress and her brother, and both of the adults at the table fall over dead. No one can find an explanation for it, and the 7 girls all have various reasons for not wanting to go back to their families, so they decide that they're going to cover up the deaths, and hilarity ensues. Things go wrong for them pretty much from the get-go, and I absolutely love that book. It's probably one of my top books for 2015, and I'm probably going to be recommending it to people for, I don't know, months at least. It was really funny, and I'm definitely going to be looking for more from that author. Number 8, Most Improved, the book that started off slow but really picked up. So usually if a book starts off really slow for me, I end up not finishing it because honestly life is too short to waste reading bad books. Dresden Files by Jim Butcher. I know a lot of people really love this series. My roommate is one of them, and they are really good, just not all of the books really do it for me. There are some that I really, really love. For me, the series really picked up around, I think it was volume 5 or 6, and the book that I just recently finished, well, not that recently, but the last book that I read in that series was Turncoat, and I think that this is book 10 in the series, but I listened to it on audio. James Marsters does all of the narration for the Jim Butcher audiobooks, or for the Dresden Files. For me, he is the voice of Harry Dresden. I absolutely love him, and honestly, his narration has been what has been getting me through about the last 4 books that I've read. For some reason, I just get really bored when I'm sitting down and reading these books, but I absolutely adore them on audio. So this is my pick for Most Improved. Number 9, Cutest Couple, the cutest couple in a book. That one I had some debate over, and then I realized that most of my OTPs are fan, so I had to go with the only cute couple that was canon that really came to mind, which is Kath and Levi in Fangirl. I think that they're just adorable together. I love the way that they read together. I think that's just so cute. And I know that Levi doesn't like to read. I mean, let's face it, he probably has some kind of a learning disability. That's what my personal opinion is. But I think that it's really cute the way that she gets him into the stories. And the last one, number 10, Biggest Heartbreaker, the book that broke your heart. And I had to go with Extraordinary Means by Robin Schneider. This book, This book is about a camp up in the mountains. And it's where youth patients of an incurable strain of TB are sent. And yeah, just from that summary, you should be able to figure out why it's heartbreaking, because it really, really was. And I knew that it was going to break my heart going into it, but I enjoyed her first book, The Beginning of Everything, so much that I needed to go back and read her other book too. So hopefully her third book, which as far as I know, she isn't even writing a third book, but if she does, it had better not be so heartbreaking, because I don't think I can tolerate any more of that from you, Robin. Okay? You hear me? You need to write something that's happy, has a happy ending, okay? So that's it for me on book superlatives. Like I said, if you've got any disagreement, anything that you want to put forward for these various imaginary awards, then go ahead and let me know in the comments. I post a new video every Saturday, and you can find me on Twitter, Tumblr, and Goodreads. Those are also linked below. I'm gonna have a lot of links today, people, so go check them out. But I will see you guys next week, and I occasionally post random videos during the week, but I'll definitely see you next Saturday. Bye!